Hello everyone, good morning. I welcome you all in today's online class. So students, in the last class we discussed about the classification of resources, different types of resources in detail with examples. Today we are going to discuss about the problems related to the misuse, overuse and exploitation of resources. These are the three mistakes done by whom? Human beings. What type of human beings? The greedy human beings. What are the three mistakes? Misuse, overuse, exploitation of resources. And also how to overcome these problems, because we have created these problems and it is our duty to solve these problems. So let's begin. First of all, tell me, what is the name of the chapter number 1 in geography? Yes, you are right, that is resources and development. So already we have discussed about the term resource, how is it formed, what are the types of resources, etc. Now today we will discuss about the second word which is attached with the name of the chapter 1, that is development. So first of all, who does not want development? Can you say that yes, I don't want development? No one can say. But now the thing is, what is the meaning of the word development? Development means all round growth. All round growth means each and every corner of the society, of the economy, and also of our, that is, life belongings should go through a positive change. That is the meaning of all round growth. All round growth means each and every corner of the society, each and every part of our life, each and every corner of the economy should go through a positive change. Positive change, not the negative change. Clear? Good changes. Development means there must be equality. Equality means equal rights and equal opportunity. Next, that is development means reduction in poverty. That means we have to eradicate poverty. And the fourth number, reduction in illiteracy. We have to eradicate illiteracy. The word development means to develop or to improve or to progress. That means always positive change. Change for your life, change for your society, change for your economy, but always it is in the positive sign. So development means improvement in the quality of life of all citizens. Here two things: improvement in the quality of life, quality, not the quantity, and also that is what all citizens, not that is one part of the society or one part of the country. It is not, it is for everyone. That is called as development. Now come to the next, resource development. So already we have discussed what is the meaning of the word development: to improve, to progress, to develop, all round growth. Here resource development means equal distribution of resources. Already we have seen in the development meaning of the term development. At that time also we have seen that is development means equality. Here also resource development means equal distribution of resources. That means each and everyone must get the resource. Equal distribution. Each and everyone has the accessibility of resources. Second number, resource planning. What's the second number? That is resource planning. Resource planning means what? Judicious use. That means use the resources. You have to use. We have to use the resources to satisfy our needs, but before that we have to make a plan. That is called a judicious use. Make a plan, prepare a plan, then use the resources. Later we will discuss about resource planning in detail. Just keep in mind, resource planning means we have to make a plan to use the resources judiciously. Judiciously means according to our need, whatever the need present, according to this thing. Third number, resource conservation. That means to conserve the resources for future. We have to use it for the present, and also we have to conserve the resources for the future. And also no misuse, no overuse, no exploitation. That is called as resource development. Now come to the next. Why do we have the need of resource development? What is the reason to bring the resource development? First of all, resources are vital for human survival. Just take one example, that is oxygen. Oxygen is vital for our survival. That is, oxygen is a resource. So that is the first point. Second point, it helps to maintain the quality of life. Yes, it is also right. If we want to maintain a good quality life, we need resources. There is no doubt. Third number, it helps to maintain global peace. Later we'll discuss. It helps to maintain social equality. So let us discuss these last 2 points, third number and fourth number. Global peace. You can understand the meaning of these two words, global peace. Now the question that what is the relation with the equal distribution of resources or the resource development and the global peace? Just take one example. Why USA is interested to interfere in the administrative work, internal governmental activities of Arabian countries? Because USA is always trying to capture the petroleum resources, because Arabian countries have huge amount of petroleum resource. So that means what? One type of resource, that is petroleum resource, concentrated at one area. What is the area? Arabian countries, this area, Arabian region. That's why the USA always trying to interfere in their governmental activities, trying to control their activities. Why? To capture their petroleum resources. But if there is equal distribution of petroleum, that means each and every country has equal amount of resources, or each and every country has the availability of petroleum, then no one will try to interfere. That means equal distribution of resources bring the global peace. Otherwise, the country who does not have the resources, this country will try to capture the resources from the other countries which have huge amount of resources. That's why equal distribution of resources, that is more important. It helps to bring the global peace. That means we need, that is what, resource development, equal distribution of resources. If there will be equal distribution, if there will be equal availability of resources in each and every corner of the world, that means there will be no infighting, there will be no political war between the countries. So that is the third number point meaning. And fourth number point meaning, that is social equality. We know very well that our society is divided into two groups. Who are they? Have group and have not. Have means those who have. Those who have what? The availability and accessibility of resources. They are called as rich. And another group, they are called as have not group. That means they don't have this thing, the accessibility of resources. Maybe they have, but it is also in limited. That's why they are called as poor. So if we want, that is social equality, we need the equal distribution of resources. If there will be equal distribution of resources, then there will be no have or have not. There will be no rich, no poor, that type of division. Total society will be called as equally divided. That means there is no segment, there is no division. But if resources are not equally distributed, at that time our society will be, that is what, divided in two divisions, and who are they? Have and have not. Clear? So these are the meaning. Now come to the next. Now come to the next thing, that is sustainable existence. What is the meaning of the word sustainable existence? To understand this term, we have to go to class 6, civics. In civics, we read one chapter, that is our community life. Class 6 civics, first chapter in civics, our community life. There we read one line, one quotation, that is what? Live and let live. Live and let live means what? That means it is the basic right of existence. Basic right of existence means each and everyone has the right to live where? In this world, in this environment. And everyone means what? All beings. Beings means living and non-living, biotic, abiotic. It may be flora, it may be fauna, that means plants, animals, or it may be the abiotic things like oxygen, water, etc. All have the equal right to live in this world. That is called as live and let live. If we want sustainable development, then we need the sustainable existence. This line will be discussed later when we will discuss what is called as sustainable development. So what is the meaning of sustainable existence? That means you have to live in this world, it is your right, and also you should not obstruct other to live in this world. You have to live and you have to support others to live in this world. That means we are cutting down the trees, we are doing deforestation. Is it called as live and let live? No, because we are living here, and to fulfill our needs we are cutting down the trees. So we are living, but we are harming whom? The trees, the plants. So it is not live and let live. Live and let live means what? You live in this world, you perform your activities, you fulfill your needs, but side by side you should not behave like a barrier or obstruction for the others' life. That is called as live and let live. So it is called a sustainable existence. You live here and you give that type of environment for the other to live here. That is called as sustainable existence. Now the big problem in our that is life, in to achieve the sustainable existence, that means live and let live, that is greedy nature of human beings. I have already told in the beginning, there are two types of human beings present, needy and greedy. Those who are needy, they are not doing any type of damage to the society, they are not doing damage to the resources, not doing damage to the environment. They are always trying to maintain the thing that is sustainable existence, that means live and let live. But those who are greedy people, their thinking is totally different. They are thinking that is what? Resources are free gifts of nature. It is one type of gift, gifted by the God, gifted by the nature, and just our duty to that is use it without any thinking, without that is judicious use. So that is the problem. The great barrier to achieve the sustainable existence, to achieve the resource development, that is human greed, our greedy nature, because we are thinking everything, whatever the resources present, all are free gifts. So that's why we are that is doing the three mistakes. What are the three mistakes? Misuse of resources, overuse of resources, and exploitation of resources. These three mistakes lead to so many problems. What are the problems? Let us see. First problem, that is resource depletion. Depletion means what? Decrease or decline. Decline in which thing? Decrease in which thing? Quality and quantity. Not only quality, not only quantity, both quality and quantity. So quality means what? Characteristics, features, like the Jamuna river water gets polluted. Here Jamuna river water gets polluted, so it is decrease in quality of the Jamuna river water. Clear? So it is also resource depletion. And quantity means number, amount, like decrease in number of trees by cutting down of trees or by deforestation. It is also resource depletion, but here which thing is decline, which thing is decrease, that is quantity of resources. Clear? So resource depletion means decrease or decline in the quality and quantity. Now the question, why this type of problem is created? Because of three mistakes again, that is misuse, overuse and exploitation. Now come to the next problem. Again by these three mistakes, misuse, overuse and exploitation. And what is the next second, that is problem created by these three mistakes? Resource crisis. Crisis means a shortage or scarcity. Scarcity of resources, shortage of resources, that is called as resource crisis. Let us compare that is resource depletion and resource crisis side by side. Resource depletion means what? I have told depletion means decrease in which thing? Two things, quality and quantity of whom? Resources. And resource crisis means what? Shortage, scarcity, that is no availability of resources, it is not available, that is called as scarcity crisis. It is the cause of resource crisis. That means at first resource depletion occurs, and then by this depletion which thing occurred, that is called as resource crisis. That means gradually the resource amount, resource quality is decreasing, and at the last stage there is no availability of resources, that means resource crisis. So resource depletion is the first stage and resource crisis is the last stage. That means it happens after resource depletion. Clear? So resource depletion means decrease in the quality and quantity, resource crisis means shortage or scarcity. But resource depletion happens at first due to the three mistakes, and then these three mistakes leads this resource depletion to resource crisis. That means in resource depletion amount is decreasing but there is no scarcity, but in crisis there is scarcity, you are not getting resources. That is the difference. Clear? That is next. Now we have to discuss how to overcome these problems. Now the question you can ask that what are the problems? First three things I have told, that we are doing three mistakes due to our greedy nature, misuse, overuse and exploitation, and by these three mistakes we have created two big problems. What are they? Resource depletion, that means decrease in the quality and quantity of resource, and gradual declination or decrease of quantity and quality of resource leads to which thing? That is resource shortage or scarcity. So these are the problems. How to overcome these problems? First thing, that is to maintain sustainable development. Because I have already asked you one question in the beginning, who does not want development? No one. No one can say loudly, yes, I don't want, that is development. Each and every one needs development. Now the question, how can you achieve the sustainable development? First of all, take a look of this that is diagram here. Sustainable development. Sustainable development means which give emphasis or importance on which thing? Economic development, environmental development, social and community development. That means it is that type of development which helps to develop our economy, which helps to develop our environment, which helps to develop our society and community. Like in the present situation, when we are setting up the industry, we are cutting down the trees. Now tell me from this example that here which thing is developed? By setting up the industry, economy is developed. Economy is developing because industry is set up, job is created, so many people are getting job, earning money, profit, etc. So economy is developing. But when we are setting up the industry, we need area, so we are cutting down the trees. Is there any development for environment? No, there is no development because we are cutting down the trees. It is not sustainable development. Like one more example, that we need water for irrigation, so we have given a that is we have constructed one dam across a river, and one dam requires huge area, it covers huge area. So For this reason, that so many people gets displaced, they become homeless, they become landless, because they have to leave their homes, they have to leave their, that is agricultural land, for the construction of dam. Now tell me, which thing is developed and which thing is not developed here? Is it sustainable development? No. Dam is constructed, agricultural activity will be improved, 2 times 3 times crop can be cultivated, so it is the development of our agricultural economy. Very good. But side by side, if you see that so many people become homeless, that means what? There is no social development. It is not sustainable. Sustainable development means you have to develop the economy, you have to develop your society, you have to develop your community, and also it is not the, that is less important thing, and also you have to develop your environment. You cannot neglect the environment. 3 things or 4 things side by side. To achieve one thing, you cannot harm the other thing. That means you need economy, so you are damaging environment. It is not sustainable development. So sustainable development has 3 points. Development without damaging the environment. This point always you have to remember, that you cannot damage the environment. If you need sustainable development, you have to protect the environment, you have to think about environment. Second number, development of the present. That means those who are present now, they are those who are living in this world. We have to fulfill their needs, we have to satisfy their needs. Yes, we will do it by using the resources judiciously. Clear? It is the second point. And third point, development of the future generation. So we have already thought about whom? Environment protection. We have thought about the needs of the present generation, those who are now living in this world. And also one more important thing, that is we have to think about the future generation. Future generation means the coming generation. We have to think about them. Now the question, how can you think about them? So we have to use the resources judiciously, and we have to conserve the resources for the future. That is sustainable development. And when we can achieve the sustainable development, that means we can achieve the sustainable existence. Now come to the next. To achieve the sustainable development, we organized a conference which is called by the name Rio-de-Janeiro Earth Summit. Rio-de-Janeiro is a place. So Rio-de-Janeiro Earth Summit, it is also named by other names like the International Earth Summit, the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, in short UNCED, the Rio Conference, the Rio Summit. It was held from 3rd to 14th June in 1992. At which place? Rio de Janeiro. Where is it located? In Brazil, and it is in South America. So Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit means to achieve the sustainable development, we organized one conference of the 100 heads of the countries, and then we started to discuss about how to achieve the sustainable development, how to maintain the sustainable existence. It is one type of conference. It was held in 1992 from 3rd to 14th June. In this Earth Summit, the 100 heads of the countries discussed about so many problems, and the main objective of this Earth Summit was to, what were the 2 main objectives? First objective was environmental protection, how to protect the environment. How can you protect the environment from damages, from different type of pollution, etc. And second number, socio-economic development. How can you develop your society and how can you develop your economy? Because we have to develop our society, we have to develop our economy. Side by side, we have to conserve or protect the environment, because without environment, we can't do any type of activity. These were the objectives, main 2 objectives. So to achieve these 2 objectives, we had taken some steps in this conference. What were the steps? First step was declaration on global climatic change. That means we took some steps to protect the global climate, to protect from bad changes like that is global warming. It is a bad change in the climate. So how can you control this global warming? That is second number, the global forest principles. That means how can you protect the forest areas, how can you protect the trees from the deforestation, and how can you increase the percentage of area under forest. And we have already fixed a target, that is 33% area must be under forest area. So that is also coming under global forest principles. And the third number, declaration on biological diversity. That means how can you protect the variation in the forms of life. We know very well there are mainly two types of life present, living things, flora and fauna. But when you will go in detail, there are different types of flora present, plants, there are different types of animals present, fauna. So how can you protect this variation? How can you protect this different type of forms of the life? That is called as biological diversity. And the last one, adopted Agenda 21. This one will be discussed later in detail. So dear students, that's all for today. So today we discussed about, that is what, first we discussed about the term development, then resource development, then we discussed about the human greedy nature, and due to this greedy nature, what are the three mistakes we are doing. What are the three mistakes? Misuse, overuse and exploitation. And these three mistakes result which thing? Two big problems: resource depletion, decrease and declination in the quality and quantity of resources, and resource crisis, shortage or scarcity of resources. And then we discussed about how to overcome these problems, and in these steps we have discussed about two: sustainable development, and second number, the Earth Summit 1992. Next day we will discuss other types of steps which help us to overcome these problems, like Agenda 21, like resource planning, like resource conservation, etc. So thanks and have a nice day.